Okay. All right. I guess it's with Halloween, it might be the spooky ghost or something. I don't know. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So nice to see that so many people are interested in protecting themselves against scams. Very happy to welcome back our friend Julie Malloy, realtor for William Ravis. Is that how you say it? She also donated the refreshments today and the little treats that are at everybody's seats. So thank you, Julie, for that. And she is going to enlighten us today about protecting ourselves from spooky real estate scams. Do you want to do the raffle? No, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. She also was nice enough to bring that beautiful mom, and we selected a random name from the audience to win it. Do you see?
Okay, got it.
You got it? Okay.
I got it. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. This is amazing that you have such a great active group here at the Walpole COA. I love it. I love coming here, talking with all of you. Everyone's so friendly and happy faces. So thank you for having me. So I have this beautiful mom, and the winner is Marie Grosso. Marie? Oh, there you go. Enjoy. Okay. So before we get started, did everyone get their Halloween candy? Okay. If you didn't get a Halloween candy, I do have a few extra. But 'tis the season. Halloween is tomorrow, so I had to come with treats, right? So let's dive right into it. Protect Yourself Home Scam Edition. There's so much out there that can target you as seniors, or really anyone, any age, any homeowner. So I wanted to go over that today and make sure that you're fully equipped and you know what to look out for. I do have a special guest coming. She's on her way. She's an attorney that I work with all the time, a real estate attorney, and she's going to dive in to a few of the slides I have here with experiences that she has had. But we'll get started, and then when she comes, she'll join right in, okay? So her name is Amy Masferer. She works for Mahoney Law Group. And again, she's a real estate attorney. So if you're transacting real estate, you want to work with a real estate attorney, not somebody who's a litigator, right? Who's a personal injury person. You want to work with someone who's in real estate. She does this every day. I am also a realtor and a seniors real estate specialist. I work for the broker William Ravis. I'm sure you've seen our signs out and about. It's sort of a light blue and white sign. They do have an office, I believe, in Canton. We're all in Walpole, and I'm in Canton, but all along New England and actually down to Florida as well, William Ravis Brokerage. So as a senior real estate specialist, I also have a special designation to work with seniors, and that's training that I've taken and hours that I've put in and expertise I have to specifically work with the senior population. All right, so steer clear of spooky real estate scams. Don't let a scam haunt you this Halloween season. This is a must for all homeowners, especially seniors. You have hard-earned equity in your homes, and we want to protect that. There are phantom investors, frighteningly fake documents, and let's learn to spot those tricks before they take a toll on you and your home. So it's essential to stay aware, stay vigilant. Fraud and scams can target us in so many different ways, and home scams are among the most common scams. When I came in, a gentleman came up to me before I started and said he had been scammed, and it just happens all the time now. Everyone has your information. Everyone has your phone number. Email addresses are hacked frequently. So there's just so many ways those scammers can target you, and we're going to go over. Come on in. Oh, she's just waving. We're going to go over those. All right, so here are some of the most common scams: deed and title fraud, obituary search fraud, wire fraud, fake contractors, deceptive offers. We'll cover keeping your home safe while you go away on vacation as well. And then I'm going to do a quick Walpole real estate market update for you at the end. Okay. So let's dive into the understanding what home scams are. A scam is when someone takes advantage of your trust to steal money, tricks you into paying for services you don't need, or performs poor quality work and then walks away. So fake contractors. People door knock, okay, unannounced. They can offer home repair services at a low price or claim that they can fix an urgent problem. So I'm sure some of you in your homes have had people knock on the door. They use really high pressure sales tactics, okay? They're very, very experienced. They're pushy and sleek. You agree to choose their service, and they're going to ask you for payment immediately and then potentially disappear. Now, this is something that actually happened to my niece and nephew about a year ago. They were first-time home buyers, so not seniors, young couple. You know, they're very active on the internet. They use their phones all the time. You would think that they're in their early 30s, that they would be aware of a home scam. They were so excited to have their home and so excited to get it looking wonderful that somebody knocked on their door and saw that their chimney needed repair. And this person or persons, they were masons, and they asked for cash payment up front. Now, I talk to my niece and nephew frequently. We're very, very close. They did not call me. They should have. They paid $3,000. The contractor started the work, did a half a day's work, and then they were gone. Never to be heard from ever again. So this is not something that just is a senior target. Anybody can be taken advantage of, and they take advantage of your emotional state, right? So this happened to my niece and nephew. They learned their lesson, a hard lesson. They then called 3 different contractors, got quotes, and got that fireplace and that chimney fixed by somebody reputable. Okay, deceptive offers and impersonators. Scammers have been known to pose as government officials, utility workers. A very common one is solar power providers, okay? They come to your home, they knock on your door, they gain access to your home, and they sell you unnecessary products and demand immediate payment. You will know that it is a scam if you receive a threat. No utility worker will ever knock on your door. Eversource will never come to your home unless you call them. National Grid will never come to your home unless you call them. They cannot turn off your electricity. That is against the law. They will never threaten you, okay? So another telltale sign is if they ask you to pay with a gift card. We've all heard that one, I think, okay? The gift card scam. If somebody's asking you to pay with a gift card, get them out of your house as quickly as possible and call the police. So the theme here is don't let anyone into your house unless you've booked the appointment. You've reached out to them. You've called, okay? I know we all want to be polite, but when people are knocking on the door, just ignore it, okay? I learned this from my mother. She says, when the phone call comes in, I'm not interested, and she hangs up the phone. You know, now we have Ring cameras at our front doors. We can see people coming. Don't answer. Just don't answer. If you don't want to engage, don't answer. They'll get the point. They'll go on to somebody else. It's very easy. You don't need to be polite. Okay, so fake home buyers, okay, cash buyers. We've all gotten these postcards in the mail that say, I will pay cash for your home, haven't we? And, this is often a phishing attempt to steal your personal information. Every real estate agent on the planet who's experienced has a cash buyer who will buy your house, has an investor, has a contractor that they can call in their Rolodex that will pay cash for your house. You do not need to respond to the little postcard that comes through that says, sell as is, I have a cash buyer. That is somebody trying to get information from you. My dear friend Amy Masfer just came in. She's been at closings all morning. And thank you so much for coming by. No, that's okay. This is perfect timing. So I did introduce you, Amy Masfer, Mahoney Law Group. Amy is a real estate attorney, and I'll let you take away the next couple of slides because these are your wheelhouse.
Yes, and actually I was delayed because I was dealing with a little bit of a fraud issue this morning. So that'll fit right in here. So one of the things that we're seeing, and we're seeing this a lot in Florida, but it's been trending across the United States, especially with areas where people have second homes like the Cape and things like that, which is deed and title fraud. And anytime I'm dealing with an international seller or buyer, they always ask me, when do I get the physical deed? When do I get the copy of the deed? Because in foreign countries, it's very common. It's almost like a title to a car. You keep it. In our country, we record everything at the registry. It's kept as a record. But believe it or not, I could walk in and change title to the property without someone necessarily knowing, because they record the documents, but they're not verifying the signatures, they're not verifying the identity. They rely on the notarization of the documents. The assumption is that someone has already done that. The protection that you have is that closings in Massachusetts are conducted by an attorney, so the registry relies on that, right? They assume an attorney has looked over that. But the reality is we have couriers and individual people who record documents all the time. So Massachusetts has come up with, has become wise to this a little bit. And we'll talk about that. But so scammers will use forged deeds and documents to illegally transfer title, right? So a deed, believe it or not, is only signed by the seller. It's not signed by the buyer. So they, forge your signature. Again, at the registry, nobody's pulling up the signatures to verify. There's not that level of investigation. They often will target vacant homes, homes without a mortgage, and seniors. So second homes. Has anyone here ever been in an Airbnb or in anything like that? Yeah. So they'll see an Airbnb. They'll take that. I'm sure we've talked about this with fake sales. They'll market the Airbnb as if it's sold and potentially sell it to a potential buyer. They're assuming that off season the property is, unoccupied, and it's a scam that we can see, especially when we're dealing with out-of-state investors who sometimes will, if they see a very low investment property, they might buy it sight unseen, especially in the craziness of the market. So another thing is they could potentially try to take a mortgage out against your property, so pretending to be you. So one of the things the registry has done is they've created this registry. You can register to have basically your property tracked. So for Norfolk County, this is the link. And if you go to Norfolk Registry of Deeds, there's a link there. Most of the registries have adopted this, but Norfolk and Plymouth have been kind of on the forefront of getting it done. So if something pops up on your title, you'll get a notification that basically says someone is recorded or attempting to record something against your property. So it's a good thing to do. You can always check your property yourself. It's a public record. You can put your address in. You can search by your name. Just go to the Norfolk County Registry of Deeds. But, who wants to wake up every morning and, check that out? So it's a good thing to do, something to be aware of. So obituaries. So I lost my mom 6 months ago, and sadly I got to see this firsthand. So I'm from Syracuse. We were home for the week taking care of services. And not 24 hours after the obituary was posted, we were getting phone calls of people who were saying that they knew her, they had gone to school with her, people interested in the property. So obituaries are beautiful, and we share a lot of personal information in them. And I don't say not do that, because I did that for my mother. We talked about what school she went to, what her name of her grandchildren were, all of those things. And that's very meaningful, but that's a lot of information out there to third parties. So when my mother was alive, she actually had someone call her. My uncle had passed away, and there was like a list of all the nieces and nephews and all of that. So this person had called and said, your grandson, Josh, was in a car accident. He caused a car accident. He's been arrested. The other person is badly injured. You need to hire an attorney right away. I need you to send funds, to this address. So my mother, very smart woman, but, upsetting. And they knew Josh's name. Now, I know Josh, and Josh doesn't leave the basement. He plays video games all day. So I was like, Mom, Josh did not cause a 3-car accident. He didn't. So, but the upsettingness over that, the franticness of that, the feeling of, oh my gosh, I need to get this done. They can really capitalize on that. And I've had that situation, right? Where I'll get a text message or a phone call of, I get this all the time. You're about to receive a package. We just need you to update this information, right? And I'll think, oh my gosh, what did I order? Oh my gosh, what was I supposed to do? And we're so automated to respond and to please and to get the information that we will give that out, more quickly than we should. Or how many people have had the toll pass thing sent to their, you owe this much money in toll. And I'm like, meanwhile, I'm like, I don't know when the last time I paid that, because it's an automatic payment, right? It goes on, but they're assuming you better send this right away. You're not gonna be able to register your car. So things to be aware of. And I got one more slide here. Let me go down. So wire fraud, this is what I was dealing with this morning. So this has become the bane of our real stress in the real estate market, because a lot of times very few people are able to sell a house or buy a house without selling a house, right? So often you're doing that on the same day. You're selling your house, you're receiving your funds, you're getting it over to the purchase. So the only way to really do that is through wire. We've seen a lot of interception with wire. We keep buying better software, better encryption services. The reality is these computer people are smarter than us and smarter than the companies. If they would actually use their knowledge for good, we probably all would be in a much better place. But my best advice is don't wire unless you absolutely have to. If there's a situation where, you have to wait a day or two to receive your money and receive a check, do it. Because I can always stop payment on a check. If a wire is intercepted and sent to another bank account, the money's gone. I can't recall that. We can't recall that money. Now, yes, we carry insurance and we do all those things, but that takes about a year to 18 months to retrieve. So we've had situations, not in my office, but where we have, a seller who's thinking they're going to buy, whose wire is intercepted, and now they don't have a home. And the seller is also threatening to keep their deposit because they weren't able to close. It's not through fault of their own, but it doesn't matter from the seller. The sellers have sustained a loss too. So it's something to think about. So never email wire instructions. And I'll say this over and over and over again. I just had a situation, an older couple, very sweet. They wired me the email instructions. And, I went over it with them several times. But, the reality is they had received it by a wire. They had received it by email, so they just forwarded it to me by email. So they should never have gotten it that way. You want to receive it. The one thing that's still secure is fax, which I struggle with this all the time, because I will say to people, okay, you can send me a fax. And people are like, what is this, 1980? Like, we don't fax anymore. Email's faster. It's more secure. And there's a way to fax through your email. It's called Humble Fax, and it's free. So you literally just put the number that you're faxing at humblefax.com. It's a free service. So I walk people through that. So in this case situation, I received the wire instructions via email. So then my solution is basically to meet with the client, review, and to make sure that they're accurate. So we did that. We went through, I'm like, I'm gonna have to meet with you in person. Let's go through them. Did you send this to me? Did you this? Yes, yes. And they need it done today because they're buying today. So on my way here, I got a phone call, and luckily I had said to her, I said, if anyone calls you and says that they're switching the wire or they need to update the wire instructions, call me. And I said, even if they say they're from my office, hang up the phone, and then this is my phone number. You call me. So she called me, and she's like, I got a call from South Shore Bank. They said that they're the one receiving the wire. No. So someone had tried to intercept, but thankfully I had gone the extra step and said, hang up the phone and call me. So that's my biggest advice, and I know Julie says this as well. It's perfectly okay to put a pause in something and say, I need a minute, and let me call you back. Hang up the phone, and you call the person that you've been speaking with. Don't let someone call you. You say, hang up. So even if I call, if I call her, I can say, you know what, this is Amy. If you want to confirm, hang up, call me back. Do what you need to do to get comfortable, but you make sure that you're in control of initiating the communication and verifying it. So even once I receive this wire, I will be again reconfirming the wire instructions with her, because it doesn't take much when you're, and I'm not talking age, I'm not talking anything, when you're in a rush and you're stressed and you have things going on and someone shoots you a quick email and says, I just need this information. I myself have almost given out my social security number. You're just like, boop, oh yeah, let's get it done. Everybody's keep it going. So just feel free to say, I need a minute. Let me talk to the person that I know. Okay. And in this world of customer service where you get referred to 50 different people, feel free to say, you know what? I work with Amy. I'd like to speak with Amy. I work with Julie. I'd like to speak with Julie. That's perfectly fine. I have assistants who work with me, and sometimes they'll say, she's questioning who I am. I'm like, good. And I'll get on the phone. I'll say, this is Mike. It's okay to talk to him. But that's your right. That's when you're taking care of a service. So that's my story for today. It was very nice meeting you. We have more. Yes. Yeah.
Amy, thank you so much. I mean, I'm so pleased that you had a story to share from today, but also not pleased because this happens all the time. So, and yes. You always have, and that's the message too. You always have someone you can call. You can call the senior center. Okay. They are wonderful. You can call Karen, you can call anyone at the front desk, and like Amy said, just take a pause, because you take that pause, they might be aware of that. They might move on to somebody else, right? They might say, you know what? They've outsmarted me, and off I go. So let's talk about a few warning signs, which I think Amy covered a lot, but number one is unsolicited contact. Someone shows up at your door, calls you, or sends an unexpected email. Okay, that's often a red flag. Number two would be too good to be true deals. We always have those. Oh, wow, this seems too good to be true. When your instincts tell you it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Okay? Pressure tactics. These people are sleek. They're sneaky. They pressure you to make a quick decision, saying that you'll lose out on the deal if you don't act now. Take your time. Don't rush. As Amy said, take a pause. Another warning sign would be a request for an upfront payment. Okay, no contractor, reputable contractor, requires you to make a full payment until the job is finished. Okay, so never do that. My niece and nephew paid in full for their chimney, and they lost that money. If there's no written agreement, okay, a reputable person is going to have a contract that you sign. Always ask for the contract. Always ask for in writing what you're going to be getting. Okay, how to protect yourself. Get multiple quotes, okay? Before agreeing to anything, any home repair, any renovation, really anything that you're looking for, get multiple quotes. So you know that you're getting a fair price for the work and then you're getting it in writing. Check credentials. We have so many avenues where we can check someone's credentials. Mass.gov is a great website. I don't know if it's used as frequently as it should be, but every contractor needs a contractor's license, and that is found on mass.gov. Okay, so you can look up your plumbers, your electricians. They need to have a license, and that would be on mass.gov. They also have really anything you could wonder about, information on septic systems, information on Medicaid and Medicare. So I know that that's a big topic right now. So mass.gov is a great website to check out. References, okay? Any great contractor or any great realtor is going to have a list of references, people you can personally pick up the phone and call. People are going to have reviews online, but I would say go the extra step and get the reference. And don't share personal information. Like Amy said, your social security number, you know, we're always in such a rush and we want immediate satisfaction, but take a minute and take that pause and don't share that information. And trust your instincts. Like if you do take a minute and take a pause, your instincts are going to tell you this doesn't sound right. Okay, so what to do if you suspect that you are the victim of a scam? Number one, hang up the phone, stop communication, close that door, okay? Don't send any information, don't send any money, just stop what you're doing. Number two would be to notify somebody, notify a neighbor, notify a friend, notify a son or a daughter, somebody that you really trust, okay? So they can help you. Notify your bank. That's going to be very important, okay? If you've given out any financial information, notify your bank right away. And keep records, document everything, okay? Keep those records, keep the paperwork. So if you've truly been scammed, hopefully there's going to be some recourse in getting back what you've given if you have the paperwork. And I would say report the scam, okay? Every town has a senior center. The Walpole COA is amazing. I know that they have people here who can help you if you have been a victim of a scam. Resources. There are so many great resources here at the center. AARP has a really great website. They have terrific resources, so I would say check out their website. They have a fraud watch network. They're going to talk to you about sort of common scams that are happening. Amy said the package. I get those text messages all the time. The package, there's a package coming to you. I get that. I get the motor vehicle, pay your toll all the time. So those are out there. There's a Better Business Bureau, local Better Business Bureau, okay, bbb.org. The Federal Trade Commission. Those are the big time guys, okay? If you really feel like you've been the victim of fraud. And then your police department, okay? They want to protect you. They especially want to protect their seniors. They're right next door. If you feel like you've been a victim of a scam, go and speak with one of the officers. They are here to help you, okay? And then, of course, here, back at the council. So just kind of finishing things out, you know, anyone can be a victim of a scam. Doesn't matter what age you are. And just trust your instincts, do your research, and don't let anyone pressure you. Take the advice from my mother. I'm not interested. Hang up the phone. Okay? Nobody's going to be offended. They're just going to move on to the next person. And hopefully that person will be smart too. So let's talk quickly about just keeping your home safe. If you're going away, going on vacation, If you're a snowbird, these are just some tips and tricks to keep your home safe. Stop the mail. Okay, head into the post office. They have a form you can fill out just to stop your mail. You don't want the mailbox overflowing with flyers and notices, because that kind of leaves, a potential thief the idea that you're not home. Stop packages. Everyone forgets to change that Amazon delivery to the new place. Everybody. So make sure your Amazon delivery address is correct. If you're going to Florida for 3 months, make sure you're sending your packages to the Florida address and not to the Walpole address. Light sensors, you want to have different lights going on in different rooms of the house. Those are very, very easy to install. And if you need help with that, I do have people that can help you with that. And have a family or a friend checking on your house frequently. That's a good thing to remember. And make sure all the doors are locked. We typically do that, but are all your windows locked? Everyone forgets to check the windows. Okay, so just make sure you check the windows. Even the windows that scroll out, those are always the ones that get left unlatched, because you think when you scroll it all the way in, it's closed. It's not. It is not. So let's kind of finish out here with a Walpole real estate market update. Okay. Happy Halloween. We're not selling this mansion right now, but I wish we were. Nice Victorian mansion all decorated for Halloween. Okay, so home inventory and data for Walpole. We've just pulled up some stats. So right now in Walpole, we have 21 single family homes on the market. That's a pretty good amount of inventory. A year ago, 2 years ago, there was no inventory for buyers to look at. So we're becoming more balanced, where there are homes on the market. There are buyers who can look at multiple homes and make their decision and have some negotiation power. So the median sales price in Walpole for single family homes is $640,000. And the average days on the market are 37. So it takes about a month for a home to sell right now. Now, during COVID, it took 2 days for a home to sell, okay, because the interest rates were less than 3%. All right, now our rates are around 6, which is not bad. And you guys have been around the block and you've seen rates, in the 80s, rates were at 15%. So you say 6%, not a problem. But, it's just, it ebbs and flows. So the months of supply is 1.46. And what that means is if nothing changed, okay, if new homes didn't come on the market, which they always do, it would take 1.46 months to sell a home in Walpole. All right, so that kind of goes along with our average days on market at 37. So for condos and townhomes in Walpole, we have 22 condos and townhomes on the market right now. The median sales price is $735,000. And the condos are selling a little quicker right now. The average days on the market are 12. So it takes about 2 weeks to sell a condo in Walpole. And the absorption rate, the months of supply, is 4.63. So it's still, if nothing changed, if no new condos or townhomes came on the market, if it was just these 22, it would take 4.63 months to sell those 22 homes. So the market has slowed for sellers, and the market's opened up a little bit for buyers. Okay, so again, buyers have a little more negotiation power. They have more to see. It's more balanced. It's really where it should be. Okay, COVID kind of made everything wonky, right? So this is more typical of what we saw pre-COVID with the real estate market. I think this is my last slide. No tricks, just treats. So I've been in real estate for 10 years now. Hard to believe. Seems like yesterday. I love what I do. I love working with my sellers and my buyers, and really take the time to educate you on the process, whether you're selling or buying, so you can be empowered to make your own decisions. All right, so that's what I do. And Amy is one of my most wonderful partners, brilliant attorney. And when you are in the world of real estate, you have to have a team on your side: realtor, attorney, and financial person, whether that's a lender or your financial advisor. So we're here to make any sort of real estate process smooth and easy for you, to make sure that you have no problems along the way, okay? And I think that's it. So I really appreciate you guys letting us do this talk today. I love coming here. I have a few extra candy bars, which I don't want to take home with me. So if anyone wants an extra. And just thank you so much.
Yes. If your home is in a trust, they can still. It's more complicated. I think you're less vulnerable, because anytime you change anything to the trust, you have to sign a trustee certificate. So in short, it's more work for them. So I would say that you're a little bit more protected because it's more work for them. They might be less likely. But yes, it's still signatures. It's still recording. Yeah. But a trust is a great way to kind of designate things to avoid the probate process. So another thing, I do work with an estate attorney at my office who helps a lot with real estate planning, wills, trusts. So you can always reach out to me as well if you need to be connected with someone to update your trust.
Can we take a picture?
Yes. Yeah.
Can we take a selfie with everyone in the background? Let's see if
Okay.
I can figure this out.
I hope I don't block the whole thing. Let's see. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, let's see if we can
I'm going to try to get smaller. We'll pop her there. Okay.
Sideways.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Halloween, everybody.
Perfect.
Sideways.
Yes.
Thank you. Who told me that?
I know.
Oh my God. My short arms. Can't do this.
I have to say, what a beautiful senior center you have, though. Was this just newly built? It looks like it's brand new. 5 years ago. Beautiful. Yeah. Well, it's so nice.
I can ask Debbie to send out to everyone who registered, to send out the slides if you'd like.
Yeah.
And then you'll have that, the website. So I'll ask Debbie to do that. I'll send it to her. Okay?
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.